Alrighty. Hi, everybody. Good day to all of you. My name is Anupa Pradhan. For those who don't know me, I am the Vice President at C-Link International. And like we were saying before, this is what is the fourth straight Fox keynote. So pretty happy to be here for the fourth time round. Um, I was really wondering initially, what am I going to talk about? The whole world knows that the supply chain is in a mess. We're trying our best, but I don't think it's getting better anytime soon. Uh, the one good thing that has come out of this whole messy situation is that finally people realize the importance of it. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad about that. That people are finally getting to understand that when something doesn't work the way it was working seamlessly before, this is the this is a repercussion of it. So when me and Chris brainstormed, we realized that one of the things that C-Link was getting really heavily involved with was to find out innovative solutions for everybody in this industry. We're solving issues and crises like every single day. So, there had to be something that I could bring to the table that was new and that didn't just involve the same old, okay, the shipping lines are doing this and the ports are doing that. So I decided that was what I was going to talk about. So basically, when I say looking inward at local warehousing, it's basically I'm looking at United States itself for solutions. Then there are several that are available, especially for the for the kind of market that we operate in with the recyclables, and so everything that my topic is going to be about today is domestic, and but a lot of it connects with your international shipments. So it's not just because we're talking about domestic doesn't mean that it is only about domestic cargo or domestic trade. So let's get on with it. I just put these things out there because, everybody out here, I don't have to explain what these Incoterms mean. I think all of us know what they are. We are very familiar with CFR, CNF, FAS, and all of that. But I just put this out there just so, you get like a visual of who is bearing the risks of not just the risk, sorry, the cost of freight and the risks as well in these Incoterms. And, we're a very heavily trader oriented business, and a lot of times I have seen in my daily work that somebody who is a buyer can tomorrow be a seller, and vice versa. So the roles are reversed constantly, and sometimes people are using CNF, or sometimes they're using CIF, sometimes it is FAS. One of the main ones that I'm coming to now is XWorks, because this wasn't predominantly how US market functioned. Everybody would be handling their own little part of logistics. It was kind of split up. So one party was handling the domestic drayage and one party was handling the international freight. So depending on whether you're a buyer or seller, what you do or how you buy your cargo or how you sell your cargo, that's what Incoterms are all about. So my focus is going to be XWorks, because I'm trying to, and you can use it in any different way or form you want to, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to give a more comprehensive look at supply chain and how it would basically feel to be the person who takes care of everything from point A to point B without there being a break in service, so to say. So just going back to the fact that we previously, I think the traders didn't have to concern themselves too much about how containers would get into the port, how the cargo will be packed, all of these things. But I think most of us also know that this is probably a US specific thing. A lot of countries like UK, India, even um, the entire logistics from yard to the to the end port, not just to the origin port, they're all managed by one party. So, you know, and why do they do that? Why has it been different in the US? There's been several factors that play into this. But I can tell you this, that several of my clients that I work with on a regular basis have started moving towards different Incoterms just so that they can get the advantage of right now, which is what is really necessary, is to move out their cargo from the yard, and that it's not just stuck there because there was no truck, there was no chassis, there was no equipment, there was no booking, a hundred things that we basically deal with on a daily basis. So I see this happening on a lot of my shipments. Suppliers, they used to have a very good network of truckers that would do drayage for them. They would have absolutely fantastic prices because they'd have a two-way cargo going on. But issues that suppliers have kind of started getting wary of handling trucking. It's like, one more added headache for them to get this cargo out. For what? It's not benefiting them anymore. Just, I think, putting it down really plainly, it's really not. That nothing can be done out of it. But so I think it's very clear where this shift is going to. But one of the questions that a lot of my clients have posed to me is that, is there any long-term benefit of somebody who was only involved with the freight before to get into um, X works, where they manage the drayage, sometimes even the warehousing, so on and so forth. And yes, I believe that there is. The biggest advantage is that the control of this cargo shifts to you as a buyer. Or let's say you are the seller and you want to do everything. The control of this shifts entirely to you as well. So I'm kind of, trying to be in the middle here, trying to give everybody, the perspective of what they want to look at it from. While you might have to be flexible at times, I really believe that this control, it will lead to buyers or sellers being able to offer more, one, competitive pricing if you're a buyer, and better cargo, or whatever, getting a better price even for your cargo. So I think a lot of this control, and honestly, in the question answer session, I would love to invite that from people who are traders and who are sellers and buyers, because as a freight forwarder, I don't see that side of things. I don't know how it goes on when you change your contract from an FAS to an X Works, or to whatever else. But from what I believe, or what I've spoken to certain clients who have started doing this, is I do believe that they're seeing a lot of advantage into getting assured uh, shipments happening. So I want to go into the first thing, which is drayage. I think everybody knows what that is, and it's basically term used for anything that is picked up from the supplier's yard in an ocean container and gated into the port. The empty has to be picked up at the port, so you're actually paying for twice the trip if you have a single container, which is one of the reasons why a lot of traders wouldn't want to get into this, because why pay twice? Suppliers would pay only one of the trip, because they would use the same trip to bring back another empty. Uh, the good part is that now Sealink has this advantage as well. So um, especially with so what we did was, Green Mile Logistics is Sealing's company. We have started our own facility in Houston, where we have our own warehouse, we have our own trucks. We have about 36 trucks already in Houston. So we are able to give that kind of an advantage to our clients, where We say, hey, you have a haul, let's say, and you want to get something out of San Antonio. I'll say I have 240s going in there today, and if you have a load out of there, I can help you basically pick that up. So going back to to Drayage, there were a lot of issues that people know. I'm sure all of you have faced is port equipment. There's no chassis, there's no 20 footers, there's no 40 footers, there's no 40 high cubes. The price is high because you're paying for both sides. All of this gets kind of mitigated in a way if you're using us, because we are a freight forwarder, so we're not just a trucker. It gives us a little bit of an added advantage to see into the shipping line system. So, for example, we know what's happening with containers. So if a trucker is telling you, or trucker is telling your supplier no containers, your supplier is telling you, you're telling me, I have to kind of cut that chain off, because I'm the trucker. I'm the one who knows whether or not there's a container. I don't need to come to you to tell you about it. I come directly to me because I'm the one who's giving you your booking. So we realized the need. Honestly, this was a pushing need for us at some point, and it was hard getting these trucks. No one was willing to sell us any trucks, but we managed to get here because we realized that there is no other way for us to go ahead. We could keep doing the same thing as what other forwarders do, where they're only looking at shipping lines, but our bookings were getting canceled, not used, because of all of these various reasons that are, everyday occurrence right now. So I believe we've kind of minimized that, at least out of Houston right now. We're big out of Houston, so anything that is coming 300 to 400 miles sort of distance from Houston, that's what we handle, and we're looking to set this up pretty soon around Charleston, New York, and New Jersey as well. So we are hoping that this brings in a really good uh, solution to everyone. So basically, when you were buying something, say FAS Houston, now you can get it from Fort Worth or San Antonio, or any of those locations where it's really becoming very hard to get a booking from, because rails are such a problem. So so that's Drayage. I'm so sorry. I have a cat who wants to come and join this meeting. Uh, okay, so the next thing that I want to talk about is slightly more than Drayage, and that's intermodal transport, where basically we pick up something from a warehouse in a trailer, we bring it to another warehouse where it then gets transloaded into a container, and then the container goes to the port. And a lot of people are like, oh, how's that going to work? That's going to be so expensive, blah blah blah. I get it, but imagine this, right now. Let's give an example of Denver. What happens when your yard is more than 400 miles away from the nearest port? So that's why I come up with Denver, especially Denver, because very, very little option to ship out of there. But that doesn't mean that the yards have all closed down. They're still there. They've got a lot of material as well. So what we can do is we can actually bring everything from that yard into a local warehouse into Houston and get it shipped out. So not only are you eliminating the problems of a rail that is heavily congested, has no equipment, has no rail connections into the East Coast, and West Coast is just plain nonsense anyway right now. So you get an option. It's not the cheapest option. Obviously, it's not going to be super cheap, but it is an option. And for cargo that comes out of these areas, it actually can get somewhere. So it's I've been successful in getting cargo out like this out of Houston to several. I feel that it might be worth considering for any origins that are very remote, Midwest, and anything that was connecting to the West Coast. So, of course, this cargo, because we cannot transload loose cargo. But I know that a lot of palletized metal scrap does come through. There's a lot of super sacks, Gaylord boxes, anything that is basically liftable on a forklift is something that we can transload at our warehouse. So the point is that the cargo moves. I think that's where I'm setting it at. And honestly, I find that some of my clients, especially the ones who are doing the more expensive materials like copper, aluminum, they do have this buffered into their cost, because those are the guys that use this uh, option quite a lot. The next thing is domestic trade. So obviously, because now we've got set up all of these trailer moves that will bring into our warehouses, it has opened up an amazing amount of domestic network for us. Long distance, it's a non-port equipment, so there's a lot more of it available. We can, the domestic market is strong, so I'm sure some traders might want to trade within the US, and this is something that is big as well. Why should a trader limit themselves to just international trade when they can easily trade within the US? And this is something that has definitely come in for Sea-Link in a very big way. I have been doing trailers from even west to east. It really opens up a lot of options for us, honestly, because as a freight forwarder, we didn't have this option last year. We didn't know how to get cargo from Detroit to I don't know, Tennessee or something like that. So but now we know what to do with it. We have had success handling these every single day. We have head hauls, back hauls, and dead hauls, all of them. So we know how to deal with it. We know how to maximize our carriage. Again, these things I don't think people who are trading need to worry about, because you have your own stuff to take care of. You have your metal to buy and sell, and we don't want to get into that. So we are trying to come up with more and more solutions where you can rely on us to give you that out of the box, new, innovative solution. So it's very and it's very interesting how well it's working. There's a lot of people that are reaching out to us, and honestly, it also requires a lot of marketing, this stuff. So I'm, again, TradeFox, very, very thankful in our daily life of issues and solving these containers stuck out and stuff like that. I barely get the time to advertise to even our existing clients that we have all of this. So this helps. um, so I'm going to kind of try and sum it up for today. How does this is the future for Sea-Link, and along with Sea-Link, any of our clients. We know the ports, we know the shipping lines. You all know us as a technologically advanced freight forwarder. Now we know drayage. Now we know domestic shipping. We are revolutionizing that as well. So soon we're going to have those rates up online, just the way we had it for our freight. Frankly, we did have it before. Even now you can get a rate, but it's very difficult trying to make sense of the rates that come through. And there's so many disclaimers and so many small charges that it's very hard to actually make this available just the way we've made available the freight rates. But that is the plan. That is the plan. not just the technology, but think about the communication between the shipping line and the terminal, and then you guys, the clients, us. We're trying to break all of that into making it a simple thing of, I'm the trucker, I'm the forwarder, I'll manage everything. If anything goes wrong, I'm the one to blame, not your trucker, not your supplier, not anyone. So, I don't know why we want to take on more blame. Not to get his the best thing, but um, it does give us a lot of accountability as well. When we work with shipping lines and they come to us saying, you did not use XYZ number of containers, why? We can actually now, without having to, go into too much detail, tell them that, hey, because your uh, cutoffs change every day, or you don't have uh, so and so number of days open. But at the same time, all those excuses that we hear from our clients, we have already heard them. So we've already tried to make sure that we work around them, because the idea is not just to give reasons of why we didn't use something. The idea is to make sure that we can do something differently and take it forward to make sure that that booking gets used. My trucker is there to load, your supplier gets to load his material, and we do the shipment. That's my bottom line, is that we need all of these containers to ship. We need all these trucks to load and these containers to ship. So that's where we are going. That's our future. And we seriously, sincerely hope that everybody who works with us will move forward with us, create more business this way, because I have a lot of clients that have come up to me and said, hey, I didn't even know that I could do this. Now I can go to, I don't know, some yard near Mexico and bring it in into your warehouse. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. So there's so many opportunities for new business. We can use all of this to our advantage, even though we're in one of the most toughest times of supply chain, where it's a mess everywhere. But we can actually use this to our advantage. I really believe, as somebody who's been a part of sealing for a long time now, we have really used this to our benefit. So yeah, that's what I invite everybody who works with us to do as well. And yeah, if there's any questions, please let me know.